Morning. I hope y'all had a great weekend. As you can see, starting off this week, I am back in Read Theory. And what I want to do today is I want to practice some of what we learned about prior knowledge. Now, if you remember from last week, when we use prior knowledge when we're reading, we want to look at things like the title and any pictures that go along with the beginning of the article. And we want to look at them and think about what we already know about what they're talking about. So in my case, I have a title that's about In Search of Beauty. So I'm going to have to think about, what do I know about searching? What do I know about beauty? And then what is this picture telling me? So in my case, I'm going to think, of course, well, I know searching means to look for something. And maybe we look for things because they're lost. Maybe we're looking for things because we haven't discovered them yet. For instance, all the explorers who traveled across the ocean and eventually discovered the United States, they were exploring to looking for things that they hadn't discovered yet. When I think about beauty as well, of course I know that beauty is something that looks pleasing, that kind of stands out from everything else. It's something that we really want to look at. And then of course I can see in this picture up here that we're looking at a sunset, which many people decide is beautiful. Okay, so I've thought about what I already know about this. Now I want to take a step further and think about what might the article talk about this. And based on what I already know, I think if somebody's searching for beauty, they might be looking for it. Perhaps because of this picture, perhaps they're looking for it out in nature. And I feel like if somebody's searching for beauty, maybe they're looking for beautiful things. Maybe there's something about beauty that they feel like they haven't discovered yet. And actually, when I look at this picture, I see that it's, again, a picture of a sunset, which is out in nature. So maybe, I'm going to make a guess and say maybe this article is about people going out into nature to try to find beautiful things. So, I've thought about what I already know about this, and I've thought about what I think the article might say about this. Now, the next step would be to read and figure out what this article actually says. And in my case, I've actually already read the article, and I can tell you that my first guess was actually only partly correct. They do talk about beauty, and they do talk about beauty in nature, but what they really talk about is searching for beauty in art. They talk about all the different ways that people have made art to try to create something beautiful. So my guess was close, but not quite there, which is okay, because the point of guessing with prior knowledge is not to be right. It's simply to think more closely about the article, is to engage with the article. It's like trying to pay attention to somebody in a conversation. I can sit there and I can kind of stare off into space, but if I think about what the person is telling me, I'll be able to follow along with them better. So what I want you to do when you come to read theory is I want you to think about what you already know about the title and the pictures. I want you to make a guess about what the article will say and kind of check as you read along to see how close the article is to what you guessed it would be. And then simply come through and answer the questions. I want you to do one final thing for me. I want you to come here to this assignment, Read Theory and Prior Knowledge. I want you to come here. I want you to click Submit, and I want you to tell me, how did using prior knowledge affect your reading? Did it help? Why or why not? So I have a bunch of steps written up here. Let me be very specific. These first 4 steps here are simply what I just did. I simply went through and I kind of looked at this article and thought about it, and then I read it. Steps 1 through 4, you don't have to answer any questions for me. You don't have to turn any work into me. All of this is simply me asking you to look at the article, think about what you already know about it, make a guess about what it will say, and then read it, and then answer those questions. The one thing I do want you to submit to this assignment is, after you've read the Read Theory article, I want you to come back to this Canvas assignment and just tell me, how did using prior knowledge affect your reading? Did it help? Why or why not? And you can tell me that yes, it helped, and maybe it helped for whatever reason. You can also tell me that no, it didn't help, and you can give me a reason why it didn't help you. Um, there's no right or wrong answer here except the true one. But I want you to read the Read Theory, come back, and submit your answer to this question to the assignment, and then you'll be done with today's work. Thank you all. I'm looking forward to this week with you. We have just a little bit left to go, and I'll see some of y'all tomorrow.